This survivor here is from Hazin. She's a young mother of one who owned a restaurant and whose life was filled with aspirations and dreams for a better tomorrow until she became a victim of the horrors of sexual violence in Tigray during its occupation by Allied forces. Hiwot left her home and went to her parents' house, attempting to get away from atrocities in her area. However, her parents' place was far from being safe. She says, on the 15th of June 2021, 3 Ethiopian soldiers came over to her house and asked if there were any men in the house. When she and her mother said there were none, they hit her mother after taking her baby daughter away from her.
They came and asked if there were any men in the house. My mother said there were none. She was so scared for me. They told me to go inside and pushed me. Then one told me to sit down. My mom called out for me. A soldier then hit her with the bottom of his rifle and she fell down. I don't know where and how they took my daughter, whom I was holding then. That is when they raped me. 3 Ethiopian soldiers raped me turn by turn. They left as if nothing happened and continued killing people in our neighborhood.
After being subjected to such horrific accounts of sexual violence, Hiwot would find it impossible to access medical care as many of the health facilities were either looted or guarded by soldiers. Soldiers who had raped her and many other women across the area.
3 days later, my stomach was swollen. My mother was so worried and she tried to take me to a health facility. Soldiers were everywhere, but my mother took me anyway, saying that she doesn't care even if they killed us. There was nowhere she could have taken me, but there were some volunteers who were there to treat children. They were supposed to treat children only, but my mother helped them understand my situation and they were able to give me some medication.
Her agony doesn't end here. Despite her trauma, she managed to make it to Mekelle, where she thought was safe. But Mekelle too wasn't so safe after all. Another Ethiopian soldier would rape her yet again.
I came to Mekelle, but I wasn't able to escape from what I was trying to escape. One Ethiopian soldier dragged me into some place. I resisted, but he dragged me and put me inside a bathroom. I chose Des over him raping me, so I resisted him very hard. I struggled a lot, but at the end, he pushed me and I fell so hard into what I believe was a stone. A nail on the ground injured me as well. I lost consciousness and then he raped me. I knew so because I found my underwear elsewhere.
Having been terribly traumatized by what happened to her, Hiwot is found in a horrible mental crisis now. Loud noises remind her of the horrors she went through, and she finds herself back in the memories she worked so hard to forget. She says she wants to get psychological and physical treatments, but her having no money made it difficult for it to come true.
I can't stand or sit for long. I have to lay down. I have tried to get treatment, but how can I? I have no money. I have no one to ask as well, since I fear that they might hate me if I told them what happened to me.
Hiwot lives with the hope that one day the perpetrators of such horrific violence will be brought to justice. But for Hiwot and many survivors in Tigray, justice is far from being served as the Ethiopian government continues to close off Tigray while the international community watches idly by.